Bueno, gracias. So, that's my Spanish. In my brief talk this afternoon, I seek to address both themes of the present conference. I'm going to provide a survey of the materials related to the study of the visual culture of Spain housed in the Department of Image Collections. And there they are. And the second half, I'm going to talk about how artificial intelligence technology is being harnessed to connect researchers to these and other valuable resources in the department's collection. So the department comprises a photo archive of more than 16 million reproductions documenting the global history of the fine arts, a research collection that includes photographs, prints, negatives, slides, microform, and born digital materials. The founding collection was the archive of 60,000 photographs and clippings amassed by the art historian George M. Richter. There he is. A native of San Francisco who lived and worked in Europe until the outbreak of World War II. The gallery purchased this resource in 1943 and augmented it until 1970 when it was incorporated into the photographic archives established by the Samuel H. Kress Foundation as part of the expanded resources planned for the Study Center in the gallery's East Building. Oh, thank you. The department focuses on reproductions of works of art and architectural monuments, as well as examples of the reproductive technologies that have impacted the study of our discipline. Our chief curator also collects materials that increase understanding of the context or production of these works of art, such as portrait photographs of artists and of patrons. Particular strengths of the collection include dealers' photographs and archives, such as the photo archive of the New York branch of the Derain-Puel Gallery. And here are two examples of Spanish paintings that passed through the gallery, including El Greco's masterpiece, which was in the possession of the gallery in about 1910. Obviously, these prints, especially the reverse, offer invaluable information regarding provenance. Another strength is historical photographs, such as this example, which provides useful information for conservators. The department also maintains scholars' archives, such as that of the North American Hispanist, Harold Wethy, an archive that contains more than 16,000 photographs, negatives, slides, all supplemented by his notes regarding date and attribution. Finally, the department seeks out records of exhibitions and museum installations, or so-called gallery hangs, which furnish critical information regarding influence, specifically which works of art artists could see, where and when, and also next to what. The holdings related to the study of Spanish visual culture total approximately 7,500 independent photographs, plus 2 albums of paintings and 12 albums of architecture. The core of this collection was the photo archive, purchased from Richter, which was expanded during the past 80 years through purchases from dealers and institutions such as Archivo Mas, from which the department obtained nearly 56,000 photographs. One of the highlights of these holdings is the nearly 700 albumen prints from glass plate negatives housed in the Archivo Ruiz Bernacchi of the Spanish Cultural Heritage Institute in Madrid. Now, that archive comprises more than 12,000 photographs by the French photographer Jean, otherwise known as Juan, Laurent, a preeminent figure in the history of Spanish photography. Laurent immigrated to Spain in 1843 and, after a decade of supporting himself as a producer of paper goods, opened a photography studio in Madrid in 1855. He originally focused on portrait photography, but today he is best known for his photographs recording art in Spanish collections, historical monuments from across the peninsula, and his fabulous city views. As is widely known, this archive is undergoing restoration now, and so the Department of Image Collections, only because it owns part of this archive, still would like to offer their holdings to help out in any way with this restoration project. So though slightly off topic, I cannot resist the opportunity to note that the department also has exceptional holdings representing the visual culture of the Spanish-speaking world. Highlights from these collections include 9 albums of photographs recording historic monuments from across Latin America and the archive of the pioneering photographer Judith Hancock de Sandoval, who from 1967 through 1979 recorded Mexican monuments, paintings, and people, producing almost 11,000 photographs and slides. We also hold a set of photographs taken in 1963 by the Colombian-Mexican photojournalist Rodrigo Moya, recording the excavations at Teotihuacan, and a rare set of 13 prints documenting the sacking of the Merida Cathedral, carried out on the orders of Governor Alvarado in 1915. Finally, the department recently acquired a collection of rare cartes de visite from several 19th century Peruvian photography studios. These are exceptional examples of costumbrismo, or pictorial interpretations of local everyday life, customs, and costumes. Now, to increase the discoverability and accessibility of its holdings, in 2013, the department joined 14 European and North American art historical photo archives to found FAROS. This is an international consortium. 1 decade later, FAROS welcomed a 15th member, and I'd like to emphasize that we're always looking for additional members. FAROS is committed to producing a digital research platform affording comprehensive, consolidated access to the members' digitized images and corresponding scholarly documentation. The platform, and here's a screenshot of the beta version, an updated version of which will be launched in early 2025, if not sooner, so please check back, will provide access to more than 2.8 million images and related metadata from 5 of the 15 institutions. And this, of course, is just the first iteration of the platform, as not all member institutions have completed digitizing their collections. Once they have, the platform has the potential to provide access to more than 25 million images. So as you may imagine, the metadata for the combined holdings is heterogeneous and multilingual. In the future, linked open data will help to solve this problem, but not all member institutions are in the position to overhaul their databases. Thus, to address this issue in light of current conditions, the consortium, aided by funding from the Crest Foundation, is investigating computer vision technologies to help with navigation and discoverability. Because, as we all know, image similarity software uses algorithms to match or group images based on pixel data rather than metadata. So the result is the FAROS Visual Search Database, and I'm showing you a slide here of what it's going to look like when the new platform is launched any day now. The prototype for this, however, was released in September of 2016, and I just want to talk about that just for 1 second. This prototype was designed by the computer scientist John Resig, and there he is, who had produced a similar database in 2013, Ukiyo-e Search, which aggregates images of Japanese prints from dozens of international collections. Resig used TinEye's match engine service to merge 2 data sets, the Frick Art Research, and they are now the Frick Art Research Library, their holdings of anonymous Italian art, and the Zeri Foundation's holdings of Renaissance art, and his results were really promising. With another grant from the Crest Foundation, he developed a second iteration of this search feature using nearly 10,000 images and associated metadata representing Italian works of art provided by 8 member institutions. And it's always Italian art because these were the first collections that most member institutions digitized. Now this feature, and I'm showing you what it looked like this summer, so this is before the new launch. This feature afforded immediate comparison of the different attributions and provenance histories recorded by member institutions and presented a variety of photographs taken during the course of the last 100 years, thus allowing researchers to determine if the object had undergone any physical changes during its history. Now, this feature will soon be replaced by a new tool referred to as ArtVision, a semantic web application built on ResearchSpace that integrates computer vision APIs with the entire collection, so no longer just about Italian art, but you can search across the entire collection. This updated feature, which again will be launched in tandem with the latest iteration of the platform, will allow researchers to upload images for immediate comparison. Thus, even though linked open data will eventually resolve most issues related to heterogeneous and multilingual metadata, Art Vision will remain relevant as the ability to upload images of unidentified works is of exceptional benefit to art research. So in conclusion, I would like to touch on the third theme of this conference, collaboration. As I noted, Pharos is hoping to expand its membership. The consortium is especially keen to connect with collections of non-Western art. So if Pharos may be of interest to your institution, please look us up. So thank you for your time and kind attention. Gracias por su tiempo y amable atención.